Welcome back, everybody, to another Mini-Mate setup. We have Banshee, Jubilee, Emma Frost, and then Sabretooth. And those of you who are longtime X-Men fans will probably recognize this. This is from Phalanx Covenant. I wish we had some Phalanx, but we don't. Someday I'll have to either get some customs made, or else hopefully Diamond Select someday down the line gives us some Phalanx. They seem like they'd be easy to army build and do that whole storyline. So, but yeah, this is kind of the four main lead, the salvation of the X-Men, besides Wolverine, Cable, I think, and maybe Forge was another one that escaped the Phalanx, and they eventually team up and save the 90s X-Men. So one of my favorite storylines, because that's a few years after I started collecting. It was, besides Fatal Attractions, it was my first big one. So always kind of got a special place in my heart as a big X-Men fan. So, but yeah, it's nice and simple. We got these three walking down down in X Mansion. It's been taken over, and just kind of got some background stuff here, some red lights, so it looks like there's emergency lights on. This thing here is a Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like a window thingy for a recording studio, I think. I think I might have even done a review video on it a long time ago, a couple years ago, but. Yeah, and then we have background. We kind of give it some depth. We give it, make it look like an actual hallway in subterranean basement. And it turned out pretty good. So, anyways, yeah, that's it for this one. Let's go on to the next one. So, straight back into the outdoor shot, which is kind of funny. I made this huge setup, used it a bunch, tore it down, did one shot, and now I'm back to the outdoor setup with the rollout grass from Michaels for medium for these people to be standing on, for the mutants to be standing on. We got a rock right there. It's just a regular garden rock. We got a tree from Playmobil that's dead behind Black Tom Cassidy. We have the other trees. We have this dead oak. That's a McFarlane set, I believe. Headless Horseman or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, this is straight out of the comics too. This is very much a Generation X shot. Black Tom Cassidy, a different form than what you see here. I think he's pretty much all tree-like at that point in time. But he's at, I think he might be at the Generation X school, and he took over their Danger Room, which their Danger Room isn't really Danger Room, it's a biosphere. But Black Tom takes it over or something. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I've read it. So this is kind of an ode to that shot. We got Emma Frost and Banshee taking on Black Tom, or telling him to leave, which this is awesome. Like I've always thought it'd be great if they made a Generation X 4-pack and then gave us extra parts to where we would all buy 2 sets of it, because all their costumes are the same. There's just male and female and stuff. Much like I think it was Wave 60 with the X-Men, where you had 2 different heads for each set. But I don't. The Generation X is such a deep cut. I hope it happens someday, but I don't really have my fingers crossed for that. But this is kind of a nice little ode to that era of X-Men comics, because that was one of the biggest eras I collected in. So, but yeah, pretty cool shot. Let's go on to the next one. So here's my next shot. Really not happy with how this one's turning out. Spent a lot of time on it. I don't know if it's just because it's so plain and there's no dial pieces involved, or just the posing. I just can't get it dynamic, or maybe Psylocke's not screaming. But this just isn't doing it for me. This is actually based on X-Men comic cover. I wanted to get Spiral in for a shot and get Psylocke in here, and this is the best I could do. I mean, you'll see the finished product at the end of this video or whatever, but for whatever reason, just not all that excited about this one. So anyways, I guess I'll still post it, because whatever, I took a picture of my my toys, and it isn't that bad, I guess, but typically it's hard to do plain shots and think they're awesome once you're done with them. So this one just is not that case, I guess. So anyways, let's just go on to the next shot. So much better than the last one. We have Archangel and Apocalypse in some kind of Egyptian tomb, whatever you want to call this. And this is obviously after Apocalypse turns him. He's his minion. I did use the old Apocalypse. There's a newer Apocalypse that a lot of people love. I love. He's a great figure, but this classic one I have always felt is also very well done. I mean, this is a great Apocalypse here. I'm glad they gave us the other one. It's closer to the 90s, but this seems closer to the X Factor era, which is why I used it for this Archangel figure. This kind of picture I'm doing where he still works for Apocalypse or his minion or whatever. But yeah, definitely a fun setup. We have these two flat pieces. Those are flooring I got from Luke's toy store, and you know, I bought a couple of them. I kind of want another one, or maybe even another two. They work very good for backgrounds and floors and stuff. And then, of course, that garden rock in the back right-hand side. A bunch of magic sand I still need to replace with a browner sand. This stuff's white. It almost looks like cocaine. Anytime I use it in a picture, it's way brighter than it should be. It should look more sandy. But then in the back, I used some garden rocks to create a hallway. And then this flooring is actually from Michael's. They have desert flooring there and stuff, or whatever you want to call it, desert terrain that you can use for pictures. Very cheap way to build a dio. And then, of course, I have my fluorescent bulbs in back with this yellow background. Gives it a very different, you know, very, very much a desert look to it. Yeah, very cool tomb setup. Really like it. It took a while to get set up. Gonna take a while to tear down. It's a shame I'm only using it for one picture. I should really break out a Tomb Raider picture if I actually had a figure of hers. I think all of them I've taken apart and used for civilians and stuff. But yeah, cool shot. I like it. Let's check something. Let's do one more X-Men shot in this video. All right, so as I said before, I really didn't want to throw this away, so I had to come up with something quick. And what else would I use a tomb for? So I decided Apocalypse, his resting regeneration with Cable showing up to kill him. This would be a pretty fun shot. It's framed. I got Cable there walking down the hallway, perfectly framed between the two walls with that background. I really accentuate him and, you know, just kind of give it a cool look to it. And then we have Apocalypse here up front, wrapped in a rope. I had to cover his eyes, you know, glow red almost, and it's just, I had to do something to take his eyes away, to where he's not sitting there regenerating with his eyes closed. So, anyways, yeah, I got a little bit of gravel around him with him resting on it. I got a little bit of polyester fuzz for smoke. And yeah, it still looks like the inside of a tomb. This is a common theme. I've always been a big fan of Cable, and that's kind of his point, is he was born, the prophecy says he's there to kill, he's born to kill Apocalypse, and you know, like in the 90s cartoon, he's always traveling around, trying to find Apocalypse and kill him at different points in history. And this is just kind of my own made-up version of that. So I'm pretty glad with how this turned out for coming up with it on the top, you know, at the back of my head, or at the last minute or whatever, just to finish out this video and you know, use this setup one more time before I tear it down. So anyways, guys, thanks for viewing. Hit that like and subscribe button, you know, and don't be afraid to check out my Instagram or my Facebook page. I'll post links to both of those in the description of this video, and we'll see you guys at the next video. Bye now.